Hey, trophies. Hey, darlings. How are you ladies doing today? It is your girl, Nay Songs, and I'm back with another live. If you're returning to my page, hello, hi. If you're a new person on my page, it's your first time seeing me, I do suggest that you like the video. And if you like me, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I do need some engagements on my videos. So I do appreciate when you guys like my videos and, just get the likes up. Because for some reason, my channel has been like, I don't know. I blew up. My channel blew up and now it's just like, so I don't really know. I just encourage you guys to like the video if you guys are watching me currently. So, yes. You guys like my hair? You guys like when I'm like natural and stuff? When I'm like sitting all natural? You see, I would love to wear a wig every single day, but the way my head circumference is set up, with these locks, as they get longer, it's just harder for me to put on a wig consistently. In a little bit, my hair is going to be like this. You guys don't even know how long it is. It'll look super, super long. But for now, it's still enough for me, right? Yeah. So, yeah. I'm reacting today to a pick me. Oh my God. I can do nothing but laugh when it comes to these pick-me's because they literally think that them being super submissive to a man, especially a black man, these guys have, like, their mindset is all off. So they're not going to take what you say serious. No matter what you do, these guys are going to find a way to discount you. Okay. So I'm just making this video today to encourage the pick-me's to be just watch what you say, because they think, I swear, these pick-me's think that they're making a change in the world and they're that their voice is going to change black men's minds. It's going to encourage more women to want to be submissive, but it doesn't, because there's still guys out there, majority of the men out there, who are super, they just always find a way to discredit you. There's guys out there who will always continuously find a way to discredit a woman, a black woman, even if she's on her knees begging, please. He's going to find a way to say no. He's going to find a way to say access denied. Get her out of here. So it was so funny to me because I believe last week or 2 weeks ago, everybody, well, the important people like Sinji, Nyla, they were making videos about how black women have been apologizing to black men. It was very cringy material that they were displaying in their videos, and I'm just like, oh my God, these girls are more than delusional. The girls that are apologizing to these black men are beyond delusional for them to think that them apologizing is going to get a different result. Like, and one of the ladies who apologized, oh my gosh, I forget her name, but she had like, I guess she was the last person on Nyla G's video, and she had like a really short afro and it was blonde. And oh my gosh, she just absolutely, she looked ridiculous, first of all. And this one person named the Angry Man, he actually reacted to the apology video that the lady made, and he had some words. And for me, I listened to what he said because I'm like, okay, maybe he's gonna be receptive of what she's saying. But he totally discounted everything that she was saying. Like, he didn't take it as she was being authentic, and he just didn't want to believe that she was being a genuine person. And when you're working in a climate that has these type of attitudes, as a woman, it's very important that you protect yourself first before you try to protect a man. And these some of these pygmies, they're not going to learn until people continue to drag them. They're not going to learn until these men and these women continue to tell them, like, hey, this is not what we want. People want violence. They don't want peace. They don't want peace. They want violence. Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead. Do you guys want to see the video of the lady apologizing? I forget her name. I kind of remember her name, but I honestly forget her name. I just remember how she looks. But anyways, I wanted to show you guys this guy who was reacting to her apology video, and the things he had to say was not nice. Just to give you guys a disclaimer of the guy that's reacting to the woman's video, I wouldn't, me in my personal opinion, I wouldn't consider this guy high value. I wouldn't consider him a good partner. I wouldn't consider him anything. He's just a black man talking. And to me, he's like the average black man. They have a very dusty mindset. They're not open to nuance. They're not open to learning how to love people with an open heart. And I feel as though, if men continue to have these mindsets, it's going to keep women back as far as not really being excited to be in relationships. Like, a lot of women are single. The women that are childless and have their own apartment like me, we're single because there's a lot of guys out there. Yes, we get offers every day. Every time we get out of the house, there's men who are interested, men who want us. But it's like once you'll meet someone and they give you a good impression at first, and then as you get to know them and the layers start peeling back and the mask starts lifting, you start to see a person's true colors, and you'll see that this guy really doesn't have the best intentions for you. And he's going to show that at the very beginning. So that's the obstacles that women like me are going through right now, where we're just like having to vet men on the 10th degree. I mean, if you choose to date black men, yes, you have to probably vet them at the 100,000th degree, because it just doesn't stop with them. Like, you'll think that you're getting a good guy, and he'll be love bombing you at the beginning, and then out of nowhere, just like that, just like snap of a hand, he just switches, and you're just like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. But let's go ahead and get to the actual meat and potatoes of the video. This guy, like I said, he's, to me, in my book, I wouldn't consider him as anything. I wouldn't consider him high value. I wouldn't consider him important. To me, he's not important. I'm just reacting to these videos for shits and giggles. Shits and giggles at this point. Just shits and giggles. That's it. So let's go ahead and share the screen. Okay, so this is the guy. Let's see if we can expand this, like put in theater mode at least. Okay, where did the video go? Let's see. This is not it. Alrighty, so
too often we spend so much energy trying to.
My computer is malfunctioning currently. I don't know why. Megan Good's husband is on the screen. Let's just click back. Let's see what that does. Okay, so I believe we're here. Okay.
Because there was a lot.
The angry man, like I said, you guys, this is not a high value guy. We're just here for shits and giggles at the end of the day. But it's just so funny to see how they operate in this climate that they're in. Instead of the men being receptive of the women, they reject the women. And this is what's going to continue to keep families apart and continue to keep men in a reprobated mind. This is what they choose to do. So ladies, it's more important that you protect yourself rather than protect the black man. Because I promise you, if you were on fire, he would use newspaper to take the fire out. And you guys know if you put newspaper on a fire, it's going to make the flame bigger. So these guys are one, just lacking the intelligence, the emotional intelligence that it requires in order to even have a functional relationship with the woman. And two, they are just plain idiots. I'm just going to tell the truth. So, you know, this lady, this pygmy, she put her heart on the line. She put her heart on the line and got shitted on in the end. So let's go ahead and hear what this guy had to say. As I said before, disclaimer, he's not a high value man.
In this video with this Queen supposedly apologizing to black men as a whole.
My computer's really laggy. I don't know why.
Now, needless to say, I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I can say beyond a reason of a doubt, speaking for all the angry men of the world, speaking for all the masculine mercenaries, speaking for all the Beanos of the world, we have zero fucks to give when it comes to your apology, which really is undercover attention seeking and some desperate attempt to offer us a crumb off of the table of validation. Oh yeah, we gonna cook today.
Yeah, so ladies, so far you heard how he set the stage to introduce this video. He said that, first of all, he called this woman a strag. I don't even know what that means. Hold on one second. Hey Siri, what does strag mean? As if define strag. I guess not even Siri knows what that means, because the first definition that they were going to give me was drag. And this is something else. So let me Google strag, because I'm not too sure what that means either. Strag dialect, a straggler or stray. So let's look at Urban Dictionary to see what strag means. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. Urban Dictionary does not play. Let me read exactly what this says in Urban Dictionary of what a strag means. A term popularized on YouTube in the Black manosphere, which is contributed of struggling and hag, used to describe a ratchet woman over 30 of age or ratchet beyond redemption, usually used in a same way as hoe, ratchet, and smut. Yikes. Oh my God. So let's see an example how they use strag in a sentence. She's 34 with 5 baby daddies. Yeah, she's a certified strag. She's a struggling hag. I'm tired of these strag ass girls trying to get me to play stepdaddy. These strags are the siren of the ghetto, waiting on the next simp that's going to pay their bills. Well, damn. That is wow. That's funny though that the Urban Dictionary really did notarize that the term came from the Black manosphere. I had no idea what that meant. So it's a combination of struggling hag. I swear, guys make up terms every single day to disrespect women. It just never stops. This lady put her life on the line. She put her heart on the line to express to these men how she feels about them and that she's so sorry that Black women betrayed Black men during slavery days, even though it was a man's job to protect the women and children. I don't think Black men really got the memo on that part. They continuously blame Black women. And they continuously shame and blame Black women for the conditions of today. So that's why I always tell a woman, when you're out here defending these men, you're not really getting anything done in life because they already have a very defeated mindset. They place you at the center of blame for everything that's happened to them, as far as being captured on the coastal region of Africa. They say that it was the Black women that betrayed Black men and were the reason why we all went into slavery. When it was obviously a man's job to provide and protect. You know what? When I really think about that is, a lot of people ended up getting benefits from fighting. Like, everybody sleeps on the Indians, but, the Indians who are living on the United States continent, or, when Manifest Destiny was happening and Abraham Lincoln told everybody to move west, it was a thing that a lot of people were getting into fights with Indians because there were already people inhabiting the land. But the thing with that is the Indians fought back, even with their bows and arrows. The colonizers, they had guns, they had ammunition, they had strategy. And the Indians, all they had were bows and arrows, but they still gave a good fight. But even till this day, like, Indians have immunity. They have immunity to reservations. They have dedicated places where they can always be, and they don't have to pay taxes. There's so many amenities that these Indians get that Black people don't get. And Black people are the ones who, quote unquote, built this country. But Black people don't get any accolades. Black men have to start from the very bottom, because I feel as though this is for a reason. These Black men really don't know their place, that women are not the one who are supposed to protect and provide. It's supposed to be the men. So because the white people recognized, or the colonizers recognized, that Black men are really at their core weak, and they expect they expect the women and the children to bear the brunt of society. The colonizers really haven't given these men any accolades or any redemption or any uh, 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 even till today, Black people still haven't gotten what's that word? Even till this day, Black people still haven't gotten reparations. There you go. Sorry, my mind went blank for a second. But even till this day, Black people still haven't gotten reparations for being enslaved. So for me, it's just like, I mean, Haiti got a whole country for fighting back. You feel me? Jamaica got a whole country for fighting back. But here, but here, in America, the Black Americans really haven't gotten anything. I mean, the men haven't. The women have been benefiting because women are going to be women, children are going to be children. So I feel as though hold on one second, guys. I'm sorry, I just got a notification. Anyways, yeah, so like Black men have really failed. Like every nation has understood that in order for them to get any type of respect, blood has to be shed. And basically, Black people, the Black African Americans, got their freedom because of sneaking away and doing the Underground Railroad and burning crops. But it was never from, they never, it was never popularized that they actually like killed anybody or beheaded anybody or anything like that. It was just like they were already running away. So white people decided that, you know, they're going to make it illegal um, to have slaves. So that's why Black American men really don't have much leeway or much leverage or even much respect from Black people, from white America. It's just a thing. It's just a thing, especially hearing, you know, the context of how these guys speak to women even till today. It's like these guys are just so defeated. So yeah, I mean, with this guy, he's calling this woman a straggler. He is. You guys are gonna hear later on in the video how he just feels that the apology is BS. He feels as though the apology is not genuine, and I'm like, these guys are not gonna learn until women really turn their backs on them or decide to date guys from other countries, which I suggest. So let's go ahead and continue playing this video. Now he's deciding to smoke a cigar. I know his breath stinks, but woo. If y'all see me puffing on my little electronic vape, this is nothing compared to a cigar. Cigar literally stinks. It's like a fat ass cigarette. It smells really bad. But these electronic cigars, they have no smell to them. They're flavored. It's like similar to smoking a little portable hookah, which I'm addicted to hookah at this point. From going out and being with my friends, we just got to get a hookah every time.
And of just breaking out the Strag Slayer and just swinging it for no reason.
Oh my God, his Strag Slayer is a sword. I think this guy thinks he's a ninja. He said he's gonna take that Strag Slayer and just hit people for no reason. This is the degenerate nature that I be telling Cynthia G be warning these women about this. Like, stop being pick-me's. These guys will literally harm you because you're putting yourself in their way. Like, just stop, stay back, fall back, fall all the way back. They don't need women to speak on their behalf. They will attack you if you get in their way. Just be a woman and stay in your lane, period. But let's go ahead and continue.
Have no reason to swing the Strag Slayer as long as the Strags leave us the hell alone.
They don't want to be
right
bothered.
now. They have absolutely no desire to leave us the hell alone.
I'm telling you, ladies.
Fucking apology. Sure, that'll fix it. Even if you were able to get every last Strag on the planet on board with also apologizing, what's that gonna do? I mean, you've only been complicit in the plot to destroy us. You've only been a willing participant in the systematic destruction of black men.
Here's the blame game, ladies. It has arrived.
You only caused irreparable damage to our children.
Blame game. Black men are
Got them to the point where they won't even listen to us.
Black men are such victims.
And that's the ones you didn't kill through Planned Parenthood.
Oh my God.
360-some thousand per year.
Me listening to a grown man be so victimized, it's just like, yo, we live in a 21st century. Racism is not holding anybody back now. Before, yes, absolutely. But now in this day and age, no. Like, no. Like, no. The only thing that held you back from moving on to the next page in life and taking control of your own community is yourself. Like, you have nobody to blame but yourself. You have no one to blame but yourself at this point. Blaming Black women for the destruction of the family, Black family, is just such a cop-out. It's just like, ugh, I hate it. I can't stand it. I'm only doing this reaction because I feel as though it needs to be addressed so that, women don't go off the deep end when it comes to listening to this type of content. Because these guys will brainwash you to make it seem as though it's, everything is your fault, when all you were supposed to do is be a woman and lay back in the cut. And if there was any nations or any colonizers that came and put the safety of the people at risk, is because the men of the culture allowed that. It's not like the women allowed it. The women couldn't do anything but listen to the men back in those days, because women needed men for protection. So it just makes my stomach hurt when I hear guys talk like this and they blame women for slavery. It's ridiculous. It's like insane. To me, it's insane. So obviously he doesn't care too much about the apology. He more looks at it as it's just a cry for attention. He just says that this woman's looking for attention, that she's looking to give Black men validation. And honestly, these guys know they don't deserve any validation. They know that they don't deserve to have women at their feet. They just know they don't deserve it. The way that they failed the black families and the black homes, they know they don't deserve it. So black American men, I feel as though, are the most brainwashed out of all of the black nations. Um, I always tell you guys my family's from Haiti, and I remember I had a situation when I was really young. I was in daycare, and the owner of the daycare was a Hispanic lady, and her children went there as well. Her children were about the same age as me. She had 3 or 4 kids. She had one kid she had like 2 daughters or 3 daughters that were like way older than me. And she had one son that was about my age. And she had one daughter that was like younger than me, like my little brother's age, like maybe like 4 or 5 years younger than me. She was like almost a toddler, but not a toddler. She was just a little kid. She knew what she was doing anyway. There was a situation where the little boy was being racist towards me, and he told me, "Oh, black people are not allowed to play with me." And I went and I told the teacher that, because I knew that immediately, as soon as he said it, I'm like, "That's racist. You don't say that to me." So I went and snitched on him, and then the teacher went and told the owner of the daycare. And the owner of the daycare, as soon as my mom came through the door to come get us, the owner of the daycare was apologizing to my mom. My mom didn't even know what was going on. Like, as soon as my mom walked through the door, the lady was just apologizing. She's like, "Oh my God, my son told your daughter something today, and I'm just so sorry about what my son said. You know, he's just a little kid. He doesn't know what he's saying. I'm so sorry. We didn't raise him like that, blah, blah, blah." So my mom was like confused, and she was just like, "Okay." Because you guys know my mom is from another country. So I don't even know if she understood that lady's accent. But, anyways, as soon as we got in the car, my mom had a talk with me, and she was like, my mom literally told me she doesn't know what racism is. That's what my mom told me. She said in the country that she came from, Haiti, there's not a such thing as racism. Everybody's black. So there's really like not a such thing as racism. Like, people are not discriminated against for their skin color. You just have to be the best. Like, you just have to be the best. So my mom was just like super confused. But when my mom said that, Haitians really don't deal with racism in Haiti, so she didn't really know how to cope with how to tell me what to say, what to do about it. Anyways, that just gave me empowerment. Like, that empowered me, because it made me feel as though racism is just not a thing. It's just like, obviously it's an obstacle, but it's not a big obstacle where people are not able to flourish. So that was my little story of the day, guys. Sorry I went on that tangent. But let's go ahead and continue with this guy. Obviously, he's not feeling the apology. By the way, I'm drinking, guys. I got water. I'm drinking water. Just kidding. Y'all know it's wine. Let's go ahead and continue.
Here, 1,000 a day. In total, 40 million black lives since Roe v. Wade. You only engage in promiscuity to a level that has you at a 70% single mother rate. Most of you have multiple fathers of your children, making it almost impossible for these men to create any type of legacy, any type of cohesion, any type.
You see how mentally deranged these black men are? They absolutely blame black women for everything. They blame women for everything. To me, it's like mental illness at this point. I'm like, how could you be so weak in your masculinity that you play the victim to women? What next? Are the children gonna victimize you? Are the kids gonna victimize you next? Like, let me know something. Because this is just, it's funny at this point. Like, all I can do is laugh. All I can do is laugh because these guys just play victim all day, every day.
Type of family structure. Oh, almost forgot. Not to mention your 50% herpes rate, which means that every brother that goes out here and decides to get into a relationship and actually, trust that woman, it's a coin toss whether or not he gonna get the herpaderps.
Why did he lean into the camera when he said that? I mean, I don't really have anything to say about the STD rates. I mean, I feel as though it's not just Black women, it's Black men, it's white men, it's white women, it's Asian men, it's Asian women. People just have that disease. People just have freaking sexual diseases. And God created sexual diseases because of sexual deviancy. That's my total opinion. Obviously, that's not true because people can be born with the one disease starting with an H and then with a V. People can be born with that. So, it is what it is with when it comes to that. Just choose to wrap it up. And if you really cared about the STD rate, you would make sure that the woman that you're sleeping with was clean before you decided to shoot up in her. So that still falls on you. That's still 100% your responsibility as a man to make sure that the person that you're laying down with is completely clean, so that later on you're not crying on a live video blaming women for diseases that affects everybody. Like I said, ridiculous.
For sure. Offer your apology. I'm really interested. At what point are y'all gonna realize we don't give a fuck about your apology?
The pregnant pause after he said that. So yeah, he doesn't care, and he's speaking for Black men, and I feel as though they don't care as well. Like I could have told you that. I could have told that lady that before she decided to go on live and make the apology to Black men. They really don't care because they know that it's their fault. They know at the core of their soul that it's their fault why the community is in the condition that it's in. It's not because of women. It's not because of government assistance. It's not because of anything. It's completely their fault. So I could have told that woman that before she got on live making a fool of herself.
You've done too much to turn back. You might as well just ride it out. You might as well just see where it goes. Just go ahead and do what you gotta do.
Whatever that means.
But it's funny to me because, guys will see this type of shit and then they'll be like, oh, they'll hear stuff like this.
Our Black men, we want all y'all back. Because we love you, we see you, King. And most importantly, we need you. And most importantly, we need you. And most importantly, we need you. And most importantly, we need you.
So that was Taraji P. Henson's voice that he just played, where Taraji P. also embarrassed herself by getting on hosting the Soul Train Awards. Was it the Soul Train Awards, or was she just a speaker for the moment? I'm not sure. But she literally went on a public award show and just put everything on the line towards Black men. And I'm just like, girl, didn't a Black man make you a single mother? And you still became successful. So why do you feel like you need him? Why do you feel like you need him? Because like these guys don't feel like they're needed. They continuously deny their own position as leaders in this family molecular system. They purposely deny themselves. So why continue to beg? Why continue to beg? Now, if they saw you with a white man, now they'll feel like, oh, I want her. But because you're begging them, it's like, it's like begging. It's like asking for roaches in your house or something. It's like, what do you get from that? You're going to have roaches in your house? Like, that's disgusting. Like, these guys know they don't deserve anything in life. So let them learn on their own. Let them learn on their own. Let them want to step up to the plate.
Here's the thing. You didn't have to tell us that you needed us. We already knew that. You acknowledging that you need us, that's preaching to the choir. We already know that. We're men. We understand that. We understand in this world you need us. We know that.
But
hence the reason why we're looking at you like a jack's ass.
If you know someone needs you, like your child or your woman, why would you look at her or your child like they're a jackass? What does that conclude? Like, that just shows the mindset of Black women. It just shows the mindset of Black men, how they have a very negative mindset when it comes to relationships and the family. They really have a negative mindset. They rather diss you than to address that they actually do play a big role in the functionality of families. So this guy said he's looking at Taraji as a jackass. Imagine if your baby was crying and they needed a bottle because they're so hungry. And instead of you just giving them a bottle, you look at them like they're a jackass. Does that show how men are leaders? Does that mindset and thought process exhibit how men are leaders? How Black men are supposed to lead? No, it's a cop-out for them to continue to be sorry. So a Black woman apologizing or confessing her love to a Black man, it's unnecessary.
Question is, why did it take you this damn long to figure that the fuck out? I'm not sure I want someone that ignorant and stupid raising our children. Oh, we're going to review this video. We're going to review this video. We're going to review this video. There's a lot in this video. There's a lot. There is a lot in this video. And it's all bullshit. And I do mean that. It is all bullshit. And if anybody happens to know the lady that put out that video, hey, I'm willing to debate her on any damn occasion about that video. In fact, the smartest thing she could ever do is never get within no type of digital vicinity of me. Because if I was ever on a panel with her, I would pull the strag out of her like the Exorcist and show you that her apology was pure and utter bullshit. It was not an authentic apology. It was bullshit.
You see what I mean, ladies? These guys give you ladies continuously give you ladies they continuously push back. They continuously push back. When women are trying to push forward, they push back. You know why? Because men want to be the pursuers at the end of the day. Like when you're apologizing to a man when you did absolutely nothing wrong, you make yourself a victim all over again to these guys who are not in their right mind. They're kind of loony. They don't really understand what it means to be masculine. And that's the issue that a lot of women are having today in the dating scene. The fact that there is a lack of masculinity, and women aren't even allowed to be soft. We're not allowed to be weak. We're not allowed to cry. We're not allowed to. The thing is, we're not allowed to cry without being called liars. There's always a negative connotation that comes along with feminine traits when it comes from Black women. So when you're expressing yourself to these men, it's better that you just keep it in, unless you're actually dating a man that actually loves you and is actually interested in you and is actually giving you the time of day. But when you come online with the foolishness, these guys don't value that, because at the end of the day, they're not the ones having sex with you. So they're not going to look at you like you're a feminine, soft, dainty woman. They're going to look at you like with a negative mindset, because that's just where it goes for them naturally.
It was pure bullshit. And you brothers would be wise not to fall for this crap. Shout out to Ty City. Ty City said that older, educated, pro-Black woman learned about all the ills of Black men in 1 week, ? The old heads in the space actually took her serious, breaking down her whole attention-seeking fiasco. I'm glad you about to cover this. Oh, bruh, Ty City, look, bruh, I'm about to cook, fam. Trust me. Trust me. If y'all can't count on nobody in this space, you can count on your boy. Trust me. Trust me.
Yes, you can count on him to be a degenerate. You can count on him to be an effeminate man. You can count on him to be weak. You can count on him to be a crybaby. And you can count on him to lead you down the wrong path. Absolutely. You can count on him for that. Because you can't count on him to protect and provide for you, ladies. And the men that listen to him are just as lost as he is, my personal opinion. The men that listen to him are just as lost.
We about to get surgical in this bitch. Shout out to Auntie. He said, salute, AM. Just checking in, fam. Like, I know an authentic apology when I hear one. And that was not an authentic apology. See, number one, you can't apologize while placing blame at the same time. All throughout her apology, she was throwing shade at black men. All throughout her apology, she was talking about black men as if black men were in a subordinate position.
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, perfectly demonstrates the delusion that happens over and over and over and over again. These men have not accepted the position that they're in society, especially in the American society. Sir, reality check. You are indeed in a subordinate position. When you allowed the women and the children of your nation to be conquered and to go into slavery, you became a subordinate. You became a subordinate. So if this woman was putting truth into her apology, then you have to address that. Rather than, you have to address it with normal eyes. You have to address it with no bias. But because these guys feel as though they're actually alpha men when they're not. Like, how are you an alpha man when you don't run anything in the country? You guys do the labor that the black men do in this country, even to today, have been subordinate positions. They have not really been bosses. The only way a man could be a boss in this country is if he sells out his own people, meaning that he goes into rap music, right? And he's talking about gun violence, talking about degrading women, talking about shooting another black man, and he's gaining capital from having the degenerate dialogue in his music. That's selling out your people. So a lot of people, rappers, they go into business with the idea of selling out. And from there, they gain money, they gain success, and it's basically selling your soul to the devil. But at the end of the day, who's writing these checks? It's white people that are continuously writing checks. Your boss writes a check. The creator of YouTube is a white man who pays you out every month. So when these guys say that they're not the subordinate of society, it's delusion. Like, they don't live in reality. And this is the issue that a lot of women are running into when they're meeting black men, is that they don't realize, these black men don't realize that they are actually in subordinate positions. If and Kevin Samuels, as of recently, was advocating that black men date Hispanic women, but these women are able to be submissive because when they go back to Mexico, or they go to Colombia or Panama or Spain or wherever they're from, the men of their society run the country. Men that look like them run that country, run that nation. But when it comes to the Black American men, those guys are lost. They don't even know which part of Africa they come from. They don't know, okay, my ancestors came from Nigeria. My ancestors came from Senegal. My ancestors came from Haiti. My ancestors came from Jamaica. My ancestors came from Barbados. My ancestors came from Turks and Caicos. They have no idea. They have no idea where the base of their culture. They don't know. That's why they walk around and act like they want to act like they're big shit when they're not. When they're not. Even like Black women have realized that we can't depend on these men because they live in delusion. So when pick-me's go out of their way to apologize to Black men or put them on some type of pedestal, these guys don't appreciate it, because at the core of their being, they know that they haven't delivered. They know that they haven't delivered. These guys really don't have the core values that it takes in order to run a household without being delusional. God, I honestly feel like black men should be apologizing to black women. In my honest opinion, I feel as though black American men should be apologizing to black American women, getting on their knees and begging for forgiveness, because the way that they have disappointed these women is it's horrible. It's horrible. It's the delusion is at an all-time high. I can say that much for sure. So I haven't watched this whole video. I didn't really want to stay on this guy all night because this is he has a 3-hour long video talk addressing this woman who is apologizing. So I didn't want to stay on it all night reacting to it, but let's see what else he has to say for now.
You got to pay attention to what she was saying. Normac appreciates you. He said, as she said in Baby Boy, you don't love me no more. But look, y'all already know what we do over here. We need at least 60 people to contribute to the show, to make the show. Sometimes that can be quite a hill to climb. So if you hit the Cash App, support the show. I came in here, I was getting ready to go out. So on, it's kind of chilly here. That's my King Jaffe Jaffer. You feel what I'm saying? And cook, just slow cook this strag and break out the strag slayer so we can slice us off a few tender morsels. You understand? Shout out to Dark Power for coming through. Appreciate you. Said Drip Lounge was great the other day. No doubt, man. Appreciate blocked from your channel. No, you're not blocked. You just chat, Aqua Dragon.
All right. I'm not sure if I want to continue to react to this.
Shout out to my man. Sphere still they look. I might.
I'm waiting for him to get back on topic. He's talking about some other things here. We're
gonna pull up this video.
Okay.
So we can examine what she's saying. And look, I'm pretty sure y'all have already seen it. So I'm not gonna let it play completely out. I'm going to stop it. I'm gonna point out each instance where she's full of shit. Shout out to Dreamin' J. It was a bunch of virtue signaling, and it was ultimately her seeking attention. Shout out to Dreamin' J. He said, for this real talk, appreciate you. Shout out to Mill 62 with the Beano energy. Let's see. Shout out to D-Rim.
I mean, did you guys need more? I mean, I feel as though his intro alone, before even actually watching the video, just says a lot about his mentality and how he's pretty much defeated and lives in delusion because he feels as though he's not a subordinate of society. Yes, you are. And that's what I love about Mexican men. I mean, I've dated a Hispanic man for 3 years. And one thing about a Hispanic man, their pride is not too big. Their pride is not huge where they feel as though they can't apologize to a woman or they can't do anything romantic to a woman. These Hispanic men are literally they're so famous for being romantic. They will literally sing to you. They will cook for you. They will introduce you to their parents. They will marry you. And that's what makes me happy. I mean, when I was with my Hispanic guy, anytime we got in a little spat, he literally went out his way to always apologize and say, listen, like we would get into arguments and he would say, I'm outside. Like he would say, I'm outside, come outside. We need to talk. This is what I'm used to. And I went to a high school where it was 65% African Americans. The minority was the majority. And it was Black people first, then it was Arabs, then it was Hispanics, then it was Vietnamese people. So the minority was the majority. White people were somewhere in there as well. But from what I remember going to high school in New Orleans, it was majority minorities. So it was just like I couldn't date Black men. I just couldn't date the Black guys that went to the school because they just were degenerates. Even when I was in school, and I'm saying this with a smile because literally I couldn't like I just saw how they acted at school. Most of them were like really had really poor behavior, and they just I just couldn't do it. I did end up dating one of the popular guys at school. He was like 6'5" or 6'6". He was like the second tallest guy at school. And he was also funny. He was super hilarious. He made everybody laugh. He was a class clown and he was on the basketball team, but he couldn't play basketball for a shiz nice. But he was popular and I dated him, and me dating him made me popular at the school. But me and him ended up not lasting because he was just not emotionally available. He just always wanted to make jokes, crack jokes. And for me, that was discouraging because when I wanted to actually be vulnerable and when I wanted to put my heart on the line, I just felt like I couldn't. I feel like it wasn't a safe place for me to do so. So me and him ended up breaking up, and I ended up actually dating a Hispanic guy. And the Hispanic guy was so different. Like literally, he asked me on a date, which the last guy that I dated never asked to take me anywhere. He just wanted to talk to me on the phone every day, every single day. And he would see me at school, so he never like picked me up to take me on a date anywhere. But the Hispanic guy that I dated, he literally took me out on a date. And our first date that we went on, I brought money. We went to the movies, and I told him that I wanted to get some Smoothie King because I remember Smoothie King was in the movie plaza. So I'm like, hey, I want to get a smoothie from Smoothie King. So when we went to Smoothie King, as we were waiting for our movie to start, we went to Smoothie King. Well, first, this is the first time that I knew he was a good guy. He was a great guy. He went and got the tickets, and literally I had money stuffed in my bra. So I like, as he was paying for the tickets, he's like, okay, I want 2 tickets to watch whatever movie, X movie. I'm gonna say the X-Men movie. So he pulled out his wallet to pay for the tickets, and I went in my bra and like pulled out a $20 bill, and I'm like, here, this is for the tickets. And he looked at me. And he was like, no, I don't want your money. He's like, I asked you to come out with me. Why would I want you to pay if I'm asking you to come out with me? And I was like, oh, whoa, okay. Okay. So I put my $20 back in my bra. And then that's when I said, after waiting for our ticket, that's when I said I wanted a Smoothie King. And we went to Smoothie King, and I pulled up my $20 bill again, trying to pay for the smoothie. And he was like, what's wrong with you? He looked at me like, what's wrong with you? Like I said, I brought you out. Why are you trying to pay for stuff? So he ended up paying for the smoothie. We went upstairs, got popcorn. He paid for everything. And that was something that I've never experienced besides with my father, because my dad raised me from the age of 13 to 18. So when I would go out to eat with my dad would pay for everything. That was obvious because duh, I'm his child. But when I was actually dating someone and to see how he didn't want me to pay for anything, that just built my confidence up as a young woman. And later on, I ended up staying with him for 3 years. Like 3 years. Anytime we had a little argument, he would pull up to my house and be like, "I'm outside, come outside. Like, we need to talk." And he would come to my house with a bouquet of flowers. Like, he really impressed my family. My family was so happy for me. They thought that, me and him was gonna get married. And we ended up not getting married, unfortunately. And sometimes I regret that because I'm like, damn, we should have got married, me and this Hispanic guy, because I got along with his family great, and he got along with my family great. My family was different from his family, but his family was so tight knit. Like, literally, if you guys are part of a Hispanic family, you will understand. Like, they have parties every week. And his mom and his mom and dad's house was the house that everybody went to for parties because they had the biggest house. They had the biggest house out of all of the aunts and uncles. So everybody would go to their house for parties. It was absolutely amazing. Like, his mom taught me how to cook empanadas, corn tamales, like, she taught me how to season chicken. She taught me everything. Like, she took me under her wing as if I was her actual daughter. And me and his sister was close. I remember his dad was going to El Salvador because that's where his family was from. I remember his father was going to El Salvador to, stay for the summer. And I remember his father gave me money. Like, his dad gave me money before he left to go on his trip. And I was like, what? And I told, like, my guy was there when that happened. He gave me the money right in front of my guy. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I was just not used to that. Being a part of that family opened my mind up and opened my heart up to really understand what love is, not just from a relationship aspect, but just being a part of a family in general, where there's nothing but love between mother, father, siblings, aunts, uncles, grandma, and grandpa. Like, being with him really gave me a sense of what family looks like. And I could have never gotten or experienced that love if I continued to date that popular guy, the popular guy at school who everybody knew, and he was a class clown. Everybody would have known me as his girl, and I would have got all this popularity, but I wouldn't have been happy inside because the guy never took me out on a date. He never told me I was beautiful. I remember I was failing my classes. I had literally straight F's on my report card because I was going through a lot at home. And he looked at my report card and he literally judged me. He judged me. He didn't give me any words of encouragement he didn't say, babe, what's going on with you? Why are you failing your classes like this? It's crazy. You go to school every day. Why don't you pay attention enough to, at least pass your test so that your grades can be good on your report card? Like, the guy gave me no words of encouragement. He didn't love me the way that I needed to be loved. I remember I went to the mall one time and I actually seen him. I saw him at the mall and he was there with his father. And I walked up to him, because I knew he wasn't going to walk up to me. So I walked up to him and I was like, hey, whatever. And he didn't even introduce me to his dad. He didn't even introduce me to his dad, but I had been to his house so many times when his dad wasn't there. or when his dad was in his room, but he just didn't introduce me to his father. So it's like I had a different experience when I was dating the Hispanic guy. I had a way better experience dating this guy. And I feel as though that's what really led me into the path of being spoiled. That's why I really felt like I was to be spoiled if I was going to date another guy, because there's no way I was going to downgrade myself after I had been uplifted. And when you're dealing with Black men, the vibe is just different. Like, a lot of them have a defeated attitude. They don't really know what love is. They don't understand what love is. They don't really know how to nurture love. They don't. So you can expect that from them. Like, and as a woman, and I like, there's women out there who are literally pick-me's, and they still haven't gotten married. They still haven't gotten married because why? They're waiting on their Black king. But these guys really don't know how to love at the core of themselves, you know? So for me, it was life-changing having that experience with that guy. And even to this day, you know, with the Hispanic guy, even to this day, like, I've never experienced a guy like that, like, who would write me love letters. Like, he would literally write me love letters. I remember he bought me some expensive shoes. He got me some Jordans that were super expensive. Like, he just came to my house on a Tuesday, because usually he brought me to work. I used to work my first job. I worked my first job at Burger King. And he used to pick me up every day and bring me to work and pick me up from work. So I remember one day, just on a like random day, he just had a bouquet of flowers in his hand, and he had some Jordans for me. And he had come to pick me up from work. Or he had come to pick me up so he could bring me to work. And he knocked on my door. My family had known him at this time. So I had introduced him to my dad. I introduced him to my uncles and my, aunt, and everybody in the family knew him. So he knocked on the door, and my aunt had answered the door. And my aunt was like happily surprised. She was like, "Oh my God." And I was upstairs in my room because we lived in a townhome. And I was upstairs in my room, and I'm like, why is she acting so giddy? I'm like, what's going on? So I got dressed. I'm literally in my Burger King uniform with my hat on and my Burger King outfit and my black pants and my non-resistant slip shoes. And I came downstairs, and he literally had a huge bouquet of flowers for me and a pair of very expensive tennis shoes. And I was like, what? Like, this is the type of love that I pray that I find again, which I know I don't know if I'm going to, because like dating in today's age, it's just dating now, like if you're just trying to limit yourself to Black men, I don't know if you're going to reach that happiness where a man's buying you flowers for no reason and surprising you with gifts and just treating you how a woman should be treated. So I'm just sitting here thinking about those good times, and all I can do is smile. He's one person that I can literally say was amazing. Like, he even he even bought me a ring. We weren't engaged or anything, but he bought me a promise ring that had my it had my birthday stone in there. And wow, when me and him broke up, it was a really tough breakup because he was the only guy that where our families were so intertwined and like we were so together all the time, and our like even our families were intertwined. Like you don't get that type of love all the time. You know, you don't find that. This is the type of love that you get in marriage. So whatever. I'm not tripping. Like I cry sometimes because I'm like, damn, I really messed up by losing out on this guy. Because the dating market now is absolutely ridiculous. Like if the angry man, who's the guy's video that I reviewed today, if this is the type of guy that we have to look forward to, I feel absolutely sad for Black women because there's just so much love out there to experience. And if you're limiting yourself to just Black men who have a defeated mindset already, just don't do it. Like when Hispanic people come to this country, they know that they're not kings and queens. They know that they are dusty. You know what they do? They work towards building themselves up so that they're not dusty anymore. Like any city that you go to, any major city that you go to, there's going to be a Hispanic store. Excuse me. There's going to be a store, like a grocery store, where it's exclusively Hispanic people, where the people that work in there don't even speak English. They don't speak English. They're going to tell you your total in Spanish. They're going to give you your change in Spanish. And when you leave out, they're going to say gracias, muchos gracias. So it's like Black people don't really have that. Like Black American people don't really have that in the US, where you go into a store and it's just specifically Black people. And that's in all major cities. Like they don't have that. Like what have Black men really accomplished? They just don't really realize that they're the subordinate. And it's so good. Like Hispanic people have it so good in this country where the second language in America is Spanish. They have Telemundo. They have their Novas. What is it called again? Their drama channel, their soap operas. It's called Nova or something like that. I forget. Yeah, me and his mom was so close. Like literally, we would do each other's nails. Like we would do each other's nails. We would watch the soap operas together, even though I didn't know what was going on. They would be translating to me the whole time. So if you guys want to like really find love, I don't know if these Black guys are gonna be it. Like these African American men, I don't know if they're gonna be it because they don't have the romance factor. Like romance is everything. Like a man that's just not romantic, like ew, what's the point? And I just hate Kevin Samuels because he just wants the women to continuously be romantic when that's not gonna happen. Like there's so many pick-me's who sit there and do everything that they need to do for a man. They're romantic, they're this, they're that, they're freaks in the bed, they're ladies in the streets and freaks in the sheets. And they give these guys investments and they always take the extra step in the mile. They, put rose petals on the floor. They light candles. They run bath water with the bubbles. And these women are still not getting wived because it's not a woman's place to be romantic. Believe it or not, it's not a woman's place to be romantic. It's a man's place to be romantic. So I'm going to always fight against that because like these pick-me's are not getting anywhere. These pick-me's are not getting anywhere. They're not accomplishing anything. So I don't know why they continue to run their jugular on the internet. Like, girl, just stop. Like, understand your role, understand your place, and ask for those things that you know you deserve. But I understand that not a lot of women have had the experiences that I had in my love life. So they don't really know what to look forward to when it comes to dating a man. And man, I just wish these ladies understood what real love looked like, what real genuine love looked like from a man. Like, thank God I always had a father figure in my life. Not just that, I had a great relationship coming out of high school, being in high school and coming out of high school. And I just refuse to settle for less. I will not be a pick me for any man. Like, no, I've never been a pick me. I'm not going to start today. Not for the love of a black man who has the mindset of a squirrel. Just looking for a nut. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Not with it. So I can't blame these pick-me's because they don't really know what real love they don't really know what real love looks like. I don't even think these women really know who their father is. So I can't blame the pick-me's because they're just looking for love anywhere. Like, pick-me's are the ones who really get taken advantage of. Pick-me's are the ones that are being made baby mamas. Pick-me's are the ones who are being affected by black femicide or, woman femicide. So these women are the one who continuously give themselves to black men when they know that these men really don't deserve it. They don't. These men have a lot of learning to do. And women, you're putting your life at jeopardy when you're continuously putting yourself underneath a black man. When these black men know, in general, these black men know that they don't deserve it. That's why when they get money, they don't stay with you. They go get a white woman because the white woman is not going to treat them like they're the end all be all to humanity. No, a white woman's going to treat them like she should. And she's going to have her standards. She's going to have her guards up when she's dating with this guy, when she's dealing with this guy. And she's going to make sure that this guy is running through every obstacle efficiently and effectively to have her heart. She's not going to just give her heart over to him because once a white woman gets involved with a black man, she's tainted. She's tainted and she's like other white guys are going to look at her some type of way. Like a lot of white guys are not going to want to date her anymore because she's dealing with a black man. So if a black man approaches a white woman or a Hispanic woman, he has to come playing the game. He has to come playing the game effectively. He can't come half-assing or he can't come expecting that woman to play a position that she's not meant to play. That's why I always advocate for women, stop being pick-me's. You're not building up a man when you're being a pick-me. You're decreasing the sexual market value of women when you're continuously being a pick-me and you're advocating for men. Men don't need you to advocate for them. They don't need you to advocate for them. They're men. Advocate for yourself. Have your own requirements on the line and have your own standards that you live by. Don't advocate for these men. Let them be men. Let the men be men. You don't have to stand up for them. They don't want it. They don't want it. They lose respect for you when you advocate for them, and they resent you when you advocate for them. They don't like you anymore. You lose all your sexual essence when you continue to advocate for these guys. They don't look at you like a sexy woman. They look at you like a sister. That's why a lot of women get that title. That's why a lot of Black American women get that title, sister, because you're always fighting against white supremacy with them when that's not your role. Let a man be a man. You stay home. Stay your ass home. Go have a spa day. Go get your feet done. Go get your eyebrows waxed. Go get your eyelashes installed. Go wax your legs. Shave your armpits. Style your hair. Look pretty. Curl your eyelashes. Go get your car washed. Do something other than defending a man. Take care of yourself. Always and forever. These guys do not like it when you play their role. Do not play their role, because you extinguish all your essence. You compromise on your femininity when you continue to play a role that's not meant for you. These men will continue to shit on you every time. When you're rallying, when you're sitting there marching for them on their behalf, when you're like ready to fight them, like, oh my God, like the other day I saw that Uzi Vert, that rapper, he was getting ready to get into a fight with somebody at the mall. And you should have seen JT. Y'all know JT from Young Miami, from JT from the City Girls. Literally, you should have seen JT. Her feet were shuffling more than Uzi Vert feet was. Like, she was ready to stop Uzi from fighting. And as a woman, you can't do that. You cannot stand in the way of a man being masculine. You can't do it. If this man feels like he needs to go attack someone or he needs to protect himself, you need to stand back. You need to fall back. You need to fall all the way back. Like, stay in your role, stay in your place. If your guy wants to make a stupid decision by putting his hands on a pedestrian who is provoking him, and he wants to make that stupid mistake, let him make it. Let him make it so that he can realize on his own that it was a stupid mistake. Don't stand in his way for making the stupid mistake and then later on saying, oh, and then you're sitting there taking credit for his decision. Now you're emasculating him. Do you understand? This is where emasculation comes from. Women continuously not knowing their role. Stop being a pick-me for these Black men. Just stop. They don't appreciate it. I bet now that JT stood in the way of Uzi Vert trying to fight this guy, I promise you, I wouldn't be surprised if a month later, 6 months later from now, they break up. Like, a breakup is on the verge. A breakup is on the verge, guys. I'm calling it now. A breakup is on the verge, because you just got to let these guys do what they do. You have to let men do what they do. You have to. When these men went to Iraq or whatever war it was, World War II, when they ended up going to Iraq, did you see any women going? Women stayed their ass home. Women did not go fight in the war. They stayed home. They stayed home. They worked the factories. This is how women are helpmates. You're not a helpmate by literally being on a battlefield with a guy. You're compromising your femininity when you do that. You're continuously compromising your femininity. And these pick-me's and these mammies feel as though that they're doing something great in the community when they're not. These men will sit there in their comment section all day and say, oh, keep doing what you do. Keep doing what you do. Your voice needs to be heard in the community. These guys are weak men. These guys are the epitome of weak. They're effeminate men. These men look for a mother figure in order to feel strong. These guys are not just strong on their own. If they were just strong on their own, they would not even be on a Pick-me's channel. They wouldn't even be on a Pick-me's channel. They would not. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not going to continue to talk. I don't mind, so I'm out of time. I'm over here looking for some flights to Nigeria, because after last night's show, I just want to go to Nigeria I want to meet Devado. I want to meet WizKid. I literally want to be on stage with them. I like being in the crowd or being in VIP section is not enough. I want to meet them and just have a conversation. Like they're probably married and stuff. Like I'm not tripping about that. I'm just being a fan. I want to meet them, take a picture, and be like, hey, hey. So yeah. But yeah, woo, did I want to show anything else tonight? I don't think so. Everything has literally been shown. And just to end off this video, I do suggest every lady who's watching this video, please check out Mahogany Pink. That's a YouTube channel. She's a YouTuber. She's excellent. I love how she covers stories. She tells the truth from a woman's perspective. Okay, so I suggest every woman check out Mahogany Pink's channel. She's an amazing commentator. She is thorough. She does her research. She puts it together, and she has a hell of a show. So I suggest everybody go check out her channel. She needs like 3-4 million views. I promise you that. Right now she's only at 100K views on her recent video. She needs like 2-3 million views. Like she needs to blow up for sure. She's an amazing commentator, and women like Mahogany Pink are the women who's going to advance the Black women. It's not going to be these pick-me's. These pick-me's are not it. They're not it. It's going to be the women who stand up for themselves, who are going to get what they want. But the pick-me's they may get wifed, but that's May. That's a May. It's not a guarantee because they're still in their masculine energy. They're going to feel like they can tell men what to do. So no, I wouldn't see that working for a masculine man, a man who's actually in his I don't see a pick-me working. I mean, a man who's in his feminine, I could see a pick-me working, but a man in his masculine, nah, I don't see it. I don't see it. Nah. All right, ladies. So thank you guys so much for viewing my video today. I really appreciate it. If you're watching this video on the replay, please don't forget to like the video before you go. I don't know what's going on with my algorithm, but my channel is like, my channel was popping before. I don't know what happened. So if you guys are on the channel, please don't forget to like my video. I beg you. I beg and I plead and I beg and I plead. Like the video as well as comment down below. I would really appreciate that. Get the engagement up on the video and subscribe, of course. Whenever I go live, I'll be here for you ladies. Okay. Alrighty, well, it was nice. I'll see you ladies on the next video. Bye.